Willie D Live.
Because this is how I am. If once I stop like being intimate with a woman,
right.
like if I dated her and once we stop being intimate, I don't go backwards.
Gotcha.
I don't go.
Yeah, you don't go.
I do not go back.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I maintain friendships.
Gotcha.
So if that was a good friend of mine, I'm not cutting off a 25-year relationship for somebody I just met.
But it has to make sense for everybody.
I can see having boundaries.
Yeah.
But I'd rather not have the new one.
Boom.
The new one that I don't know.
Yeah, gotcha,
That's unproven.
Yes,
that's unproven that I don't know, that haven't been in the trenches with me.
You're right.
I would rather not have that new chick.
Yeah.
Than to give up the one that I know.
Yeah.
That's tried and proven.
Right.
That's been through everything with me.
And you're friends.
We love it and we're friends. We talk that friendship shit a lot.
Yeah.
We always talking about what's a good friend and what's a real friend.
Yeah.
But somehow when it comes to genders or sex, we evoke sexism.
Right.
It's we start having these. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So. While I do believe that you're right about making that person comfortable, you have to make that person comfortable.
Yeah, you have to make them comfortable.
And you have to be transparent.
Yes.
Absolutely transparent. If I'm transparent, if I'm not trying to sneak around, if I can give you my phone and say, go through the text messages all the way as far as you can go back.
I have nothing to hide.
And I don't delete text messages.
Yeah, me either.
So go
through them.
My
question is, why would you want to run through them?
But when they call, put them on speaker.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You know something, going back, you're absolutely right. Because I have my business partner, Andre Petrie. We've been friends for 20-some-odd years.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere.
Right.
But he wants me to be happy.
Right.
And because he's in a relationship right now that I love her. You know what I mean? And I'm not going anywhere because I love her. You know what I mean? So it all depends. And so when my guy comes, he's gonna love him because I love him.
Yeah.
It all depends on the guy. Is he comfortable?
You gotta pick the right type of person that can deal, because everybody can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Everybody, and I respect that.
Yeah.
Everybody cannot deal with that, and I respect that. But I'm not giving up a 30-year friend, a 20-year friend.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not either.
For nobody.
And I won't.
I just met.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's sticky, isn't it?
Even somebody I've known, I'm not giving up a 20, 30-year friendship.
Yeah.
Because like I say, any ex-girlfriend that I've ever had, I can put them on the speakerphone and let them talk.
Yeah.
You won't hear me saying anything inappropriate to them.
Exactly.
And you're not going to hear them say something inappropriate to me.
Exactly.
Well, you know what I'm saying? So
those are good friends.
Yeah. So whatever any ex that I have to say, as long I would absolutely let them know that somebody's listening to them talk. But I'm saying that because it's important to not invade anybody's privacy. But the thing is that I can answer that phone, and a lot of times you can tell in the first few seconds what that vibe is and what that relationship is like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
You're right.
That's just the way that I'm built. Like if I fuck with you, I'm stuck with you.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think I just want, to me, if that guy is really the person for me, in spirit, soul, and everything, he will accept that 20-year friendship. And I would accept his 20-year friendship with a female.
That's right. And so it comes down to the type of person that you're pursuing.
Exactly.
So if you pursue somebody that is very possessive and that is not going to be with that, if he's not going to be with that, then you got to make a decision. You going to get this person up, or you going to get this person up?
Right. Exactly.
And so, and you can't get. And if that person is saying, "Lo, I can't deal with this," then you're going to have to make a decision.
Yep.
You just got. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And
because if you're not, that tells me that's trust factor.
Yeah.
If you don't trust me having a male friend, and most of my friends are males, we got an issue.
Yeah.
Got an issue. Yeah. You're right. That's deep.
Speaking of issues, I'm sure there were issues behind the scenes on a different world set. it seemed like y'all were having a lot of fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
But let's put it like this. Were there any issues behind the scene that changed your perspective of the show?
Well, yeah. Well, dealing with the executives, NBC, but they didn't treat us properly. We were like stepchildren, and we felt it. I really believe that they didn't think that we really were going to be as successful as we were. We didn't know it either. We're gypsies. We're just acting. But I watched corporation. It was a corporation dealing with us and trying to hold us down, and because we couldn't be as great as Roseanne, which we were at times. You know what I mean? So that gave me a nasty taste.
You couldn't be as great as who?
Roseanne, because
Roseanne,
of course he wanted. Yeah, so they did not. We weren't treated justly, which I didn't expect to be anyway.
Wasn't Bill Cosby one of the executive producers?
He was, and he was never on. We never saw Bill. We saw Bill.
Who was
once.
the main guy? The guy at the network?
Carsey Warner. I mean, actually, at the time it was Brandon Tartikoff. He was wonderful for NBC, but when he left, when he died, it was like Jesus, man.
Yeah.
He was fair. Brandon was fair. Yeah.
A lot of times the fair guys they get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the hierarchy in all of these major institutions, the evil is at the top.
Yeah.
It's almost always a really evil person
at the top.
At the top.
Yep.
And when they have management, if you look at the way management works, most management people are assholes, and every now and then you get a really good manager and people don't want to never leave that job.
Yeah, they don't want to leave.
And then what happens is if they have a conglomerate of multiple departments or multiple locations.
Yeah.
They'll move your good manager
go
to
somewhere
another
else.
location to clean up some mess the bad manager had. And they send the bad manager to you.
Exactly. But one thing, too, was thank God we had Debbie Allen. Thank you, Jesus.
Debbie Allen was one of the executive producers?
Yeah, she ran things.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, and she protected us a lot.
So that's how y'all maintain the authenticity of
Miss Allen,
the actual show.
You better believe it.
Yeah, because I knew it had to be somebody. It couldn't have been,
No.
Okay.
She came in and showed us exactly what HBCUs were all about.
Yeah.
She protected us. Love her for that. Yeah.
What HBU did Debbie attend?
Howard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever catch up with her out here? She's from...
Yeah, she's back and forth. Yeah, no, I really don't, because she's in L.A. a lot.
Yeah.
Seldom. The last time I saw Debbie, we were at that god-awful BET hip-hop award.
We're going to circle back to that, right? So go ahead and finish your thought.
Yeah. But that was the last time I saw her. Yeah, it was there.
So what happened at this god-awful BET Hip Hop Awards?
We weren't supposed to be there. It wasn't our jam. It wasn't our people.
Did a fight break out?
They were everywhere. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Breaking out?
I think what's his name? Ray J. He was outside not getting in, and
him and the
Zeus people.
The Zeus guy, yeah.
And then they were just. It was just weird. It was very weird. And people were it was like, attention. Everybody wanted attention. It was grabbing. It was chaos. And it didn't represent us. I don't know. And I know it did because we have the genre, the whole with the rap and everything, but it wasn't that. It was something else. It felt
dark.
It felt dark. That's it. It felt real dark. Yeah, I left, man. After we were like, can we leave after we present?
Yeah.
We left. It was crazy. Looking at Sexy Red, God bless her. She's not my thing, but God bless her because she's doing her thing. But she was up there. I just... I can't explain it. And I know people need to do their thing, and I got to make money, but I don't know. It was just dark.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was real dark.
It's a different world from where you come from.
Yeah, it was a different world, all right. It was crazy. There was some beautiful people there. Don't get me wrong. It was a lot of beautiful people, but it was just... Dark. It was very dark. Yeah.
One thing that used to run me hot about watching Different World, and I watched many episodes, was to see so many non-blacks on the screen. I didn't like that. I'm like, I want to see.
Where are you? All black?
And I know that's, you go to these HBCUs and they got some other people that go to those schools, but it just seemed to be a lot of them,
But you know
on
something? It's a lot of actually on the show when I was connected with Freddie's cousin. I got hate mail from jail. Those men were like, Why the darkest one on the show? Why she got to be with a white boy? I'm like, yo, man, this is acting. Yeah. I got hate mail.
Now, which one? That was
Freddie's.
The character.
The character.
No, I'm talking about Freddie. The guy. I remember Freddie.
Yeah.
Because Freddie was a tomboy.
Yeah.
So,
and she was half white, half black, and her white cousin came. To visit.
What was his character name? Was it Rob? Was that?
What was his name?
Matthew.
I know Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah, Matthew.
Because I know you had a few love interests. Because you had the guy that was Rob,
Ron,
and Spencer.
And
right?
Spencer. Yeah.
So Rob, you aborted Rob's baby. Y'all had a baby.
Yeah, that's right. No, I didn't have a baby. I was never pregnant.
You didn't have the baby.
Yeah, I was never pregnant.
But you were supposed to be.
I thought I was pregnant.
You thought you was pregnant.
I dodged a bullet.
Okay, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
I dodged a bullet.
Okay, you dodged that bullet. And then you had
Ron,
who
liked Freddie.
Right. So
wasn't that some grown shit though? We handled that well, didn't we?
Yeah, that was gangster.
That was some grown folk stuff, man.
Yeah. And then you finally meet your Prince Charming,
Jamaican
Spencer.
Spencer.
Yeah, and then y'all ride off into the sunset.
Yes.
Now, were you married at the time when you were shooting?
Yeah, I was married.
Because you got married in 87?
Yeah.
It was 87, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your husband thinking about these love scenes and stuff?
He doesn't mind. He was cool. I mean, looking back at it now, he was cool with it. It's just that it was my profession. It was what I did. But I didn't do anything crazy, because we know how to, theater kiss.
Yeah.
And we were taught that.
You going right here.
Yeah.
Right
so,
there. Yeah.
So there was no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. I always wonder how, actresses handle that type of stuff, when they go back to their guy.
Yeah. The one thing I won't do, I won't do that. I won't do love scenes. I won't be naked. Nah. Not for me.
So I shot a video once, right? And it was an intimate scene where I'm in the bed with this girl, and we damn near did it with our clothes on.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Just like that.
And because you gotta make it believable,
you gotta
right?
make it believable. But then you have people standing over you to go to the left. I know. Now I want you to pump hot. It's like.
Man, I ain't give a damn about none of that.
I was like,
say,
I can't control that. No.
I was like, hey, like, man, we did our anatomy, it's a little different.
Exactly.
It's kind of different. So
it's different, yeah. Different.
And I took offense to her having a boyfriend at the shoot. Because I'm like, why would a dude want to see this?
Watch it. I know.
And around that time, this is when now I gotta give this disclaimer. This was in my gangster love days.
Okay, gotcha.
Back in the cowboy western days.
Gotcha.
This is my
you said your cowboy days?
Yeah, this is my cowboy days. And I was like, I just didn't give a damn, right? So I was like, I'm finna punish him for coming up here.
You're going to make that man suffer.
Yeah, I'm going to punish him for coming up here, right?
Yeah, that's insecurity. You don't need to see that. That's her job. That's where she works.
Yeah, but, it was, we sold that. Mm-hmm. We absolutely sold that scene. Mm-hmm. Were there any scenes that you told them that cannot be for sale for you? Where they told you, hey, look, Charnele, we need you to do this scene right here, and you were thinking
I'll do everything except for being naked and making love where I won't do that. You give me $1 million, I won't do that. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because this is for my husband, whoever I am to be with.
Yeah.